to another edition of Season 28 of RGV Stars, live with Alex Sarabia and Isaac Medina. Remember, RGV Stars is
the premier platform for showcasing Rio Grande Valley talent.
And the RGV Celebrities Place to Be. Celebrities and community leaders like Jessica Vera-Rios. Thank you for being here, Jessica.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
And today, the fans, the viewers of RGV Stars will get to know more about you, your career, achievements, obstacles, family support, future goals, and anything else that you want to share. Sounds good?
Okay.
So we know that you do a lot for the community. So you're a licensed professional counselor.
Yes.
You work for the school district. What's your title for the school
I'm the school psychologist.
at Rio Grande City, Gruya ISD?
ISD.
And you're also the Starr County Democratic Party chair.
Yes.
So you do a lot. And today you'll get to share more about that. Right, Isaac?
Yeah, so super excited to have you here. So tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, and what you do full time with all these hats that you wear.
Well, I am Jessica Vera-Rios. I'm from Rio Grande City. I actually grew up in Edinburgh here. I went to school in Edinburgh till I was in like 5th grade.
Okay, Edinburgh High School or Edinburgh North?
Well, I was still in elementary.
Okay, so.
You graduated from Edinburgh.
Yeah.
So my father used to work for the highway department in FAR, and he decided to move to Starr County because he wanted to open his practice, and we all moved.
Our Starr County judge, Eloy Vera, who has been on the show as a guest before.
So he moved us when, I don't know what year it was, but I was in 5th grade. And after that, we stayed and we've lived there all my life. I went to school. I went to school at the ICS there, which is the private school. And we lived in Roma at the time. And then we moved to where we live now. And it's basically Rio Grande. But I lived there all my life. I graduated from Rio Grande City High School. I did my undergrad at the University of Texas in Austin. And then I moved home. I wanted to be closer to my family. I know that was something that you were interested in. I did want to be closer to my family, so I moved home. I didn't really know what my career path would be yet. I had thoughts of going to law school, which is something that was always talked to me about. It was something that everyone would say, like, you would be a good attorney. You should go into law school. But I always had this natural drive towards psychological things. So I
like hearing people out and giving them advice.
I enjoyed psychological movies. You can probably relate to that. I always enjoyed at that time it was the Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, my first movie.
It was like the best movie that just came out at the time.
Yeah.
Well, you were really young.
I saw it later.
It was like the greatest movie at that time, and I remember thinking I would love to be Charisse or Claire or whatever her name was.
Yeah.
And that was something that was really interesting to me. So I decided to take a year off. I was supposed to go to law school. And I told my family, I said, I have these thoughts. I really would like to go into this profession. And everyone was a little bit skeptical because that was never the plan.
Yeah.
But I said, I think I need time. And
there was even maybe some type of stigma, right, at that time.
At the time, there weren't.
Mental health.
And and that was something that my father actually told me. He was like, where are you going to work? You know, there's no clinics for that. There's no careers. You'd have to move to Houston. You'd have to move to San Antonio. And it was partly true. You know, I didn't have a mentor that I could say, oh, well, this person also does this. So I took the year off and I decided to work at Scan at that time. And I thought, well, that wasn't exactly what I was looking for, but it put my foot in the door. And then I decided to go ahead and pursue it. I finished off my master's.
Stands for serving?
Serving children and adolescents in need. But it was more focused towards like addiction, it was a prevention program for addiction. But that's when I started working with children. And my passion then just grew from there. So I decided to get my master's in rehabilitation, and then later I got my PhD in clinical psychology. So
you were already an LPC by then, right?
I was already working as an LPC, and I had started contracted work.
Licensed professional counselor.
Yes. I was working as a licensed professional counselor, so I decided to continue my career within the school district because I had invested so many years already into a school district that I thought, well, if I can work here, even better. So I continued working with that, but I established a business, like my private practice outside of the school district that I was able to contract. And so I did a lot of contract work with Puerto Region, I did a lot of contract work for myself, working with even child CPS. And I started doing a lot of that. I think that now that I'm working more as a psychologist, I've taken a step back and I've taken on new roles, which was as Democratic Party chair. So I started working a little bit more with that because it has a bigger impact on my community, I feel.
How many years have you done that?
As Democratic chair, I think this is my second term, so about 2 to 3 years. It hasn't been very long, but it is very time consuming.
And politics can get ugly sometimes.
It can, and I've tried, which is why I'm not really used to the cameras and stuff, but I grew up with it to some extent. But I've tried not to get involved so I took a step back, and I don't know if you noticed it. I may not have responded to your request on Facebook as quickly as maybe I used to because I don't always get on Facebook. I found that it was saturated with a lot of negativity sometimes, and my kids have Instagram. So I gravitated to Instagram, and that's where I've been using that platform. I find that it's less... I just don't find the negativity there. Maybe I'm able to filter it a little bit more, but I do follow the political climate on there on Instagram. But those are just things that I'm working on.
And I'm sure the psychology background, being an LPC, helps you also deal with the negativity and all that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And who are your role models? People you admire to or look up to?
My role model.
Growing up and
I can't say that there's one person because there's so many people that have impacted my life. As a child, I can say that my aunt was very influential in my life. Is that Elida Vera? She was a principal for the school districts for many, many years at at that time it was North Grammar and La Gria Elementary.
Elida.
Elida.
Because you also have Elisa Vera Lujano.
And I have Elisa too, but Elisa is more like my sister.
Oh, okay. A pharmacist.
Yes. But
She was also a school board president.
Yes, she was in Roma. She was school board
When
president.
I was valedictorian, she was
Probably. And she was also valedictorian.
Yeah.
So she's more like my sister, but because she thinks she's not as old as she is. Maybe you should edit that. No. But yeah, so she was very influential. My parents as well, for different reasons. I've always found a lot of respect for my dad in that he can handle highly stressful situations with this very calm demeanor. Sometimes it's almost like odd because like even during the pandemic
it's like a gift that he has.
He's and I can tell you that since we were very young, he never hit us. We never went through a very hostile environment at home because he's very calm. So that's a gift that I've always admired about him, and I try to emulate that with my children because I'm a mother now. But it's something that I always admired about him, and that he could continue with his career and yet be involved with service, you know, with public service, either being a school board member or a county judge, and just serving the community. And he's always very involved, and yet he'd get home and we never found him to be irritable. You know, my mom.
Saying that even during the pandemic, right?
And even during the pandemic, is that, I mean, we were very alarmed by a lot of the things that were going on, and we almost didn't want him to be involved with it because he was already up in age, and we said, you know, you're putting your life at risk. He actually contracted COVID at that time. And so we could have lost him, which was very stressful even for us as family, but he always said that he's like, he has a lot of faith. So we're a family that's very influenced by our faith. And so he's like, whenever God calls me, it's my time, I'm ready to go. And we were, you know, it wasn't always very comfortable, but I always admired him about that. My mom, I also has been very influential with me because I've always noticed that she's like our cornerstone. Like whatever's going on, if my dad had something going on, she was just there for his support. You know, and if we needed anything, because I have a brother, she's always at home ready with a home-cooked meal. We ate out very little because my mom always took care of us at home and things like that. So I try, but it's so hard. You know, I think that even me as a mom now, there's things that I learned that like my classes would never have taught me to be a mother. It's just very challenging. To be able to wear all those hats and do it with some grace is it's challenging.
And she's very nice, your mom, and also goes to a lot of the community events.
Oh yes, she loves it too.
Support.
Yes.
Eloy, Vera, and the whole family.
Yes, yes.
What would you say have been your biggest achievements and also your biggest obstacle in your professional career?
You know, it's something I struggle with because yes, getting my PhD was difficult. At the time, they were not offering PhD courses at UTRGV, so I had to leave my family at the time. So for the most part, I mean, even though we would say, "Oh, a PhD is it's quite an accomplishment," I think that being a mom has been my biggest accomplishment because my kid. Well, I have one child in college now. She's doing very well. She got her associates at STC before she actually graduated from high school. So she's doing very well.
She's very talented, right? Also in the arts.
Yeah, she always enjoyed the fine arts, dance, and even art exhibits and things like that. What my husband and I enjoy seeing and traveling and things like that. My son is in high school right now and he's doing very, very well. But it's always like when they're teenagers and they start to become a little rebellious or they have a mind of their own. So nothing prepares you for that. And even all the textbooks and all the classes and being a therapist for so long, you sometimes you feel like people come to you for advice to be a good parent, and then when it comes to you, it's everything goes out the door.
It's like, okay.
And every son or daughter is different too, right?
Every child is so different and unique, and so now everything that I preach to some extent, I'm learning is that what may have worked for my daughter may not work for my son, and vice versa. And so, I think it's probably my most challenging task. I'm also pretty most recently, I'm really excited that the media made a big to-do about the Stark County turning red and that it was a Republican county. But this past election, our scores made national headlines. Is that it was a one-time phenomenon and it went back to blue. So I'm pretty proud about that. Yeah.
And thank you for all the work you do in that area. And I'm sure now you also have the support from your husband, right? Just like you did from your parents at the time.
Yes, my husband so going back to like my family structure is that my husband is our cornerstone at home. Is that he's not, I even asked him to come. I said, you want to go and maybe we can have dinner, but he doesn't like any of the cameras or any of the attention. He's really a cornerstone. And anytime we need anything, if my parents need anything, he attends to them probably faster than I do.
So like a son to them.
He's their son, yes.
So what advice would you give to our viewers in case some of them would want to follow your footsteps, become a licensed professional counselor or a psychologist? What can they do?
Go see Alex. No, I know that Alex has been very influential in promoting that career. It's not an easy career, as you know. It has its challenges. We've even gone through Medicaid challenges when politics gets involved and policies start to change. You start to see where it starts to impact even us at a local level. I don't know if you've lived through that, but I have lived through the whole Obamacare and then managed care, and things like that start to actually impact our local communities and how people can access health care. Right now, we've been very grateful that DHR is starting to move in with some specialty clinics in Stark County. So we're growing, and it takes time, but it also takes us as responsible citizens to be abreast, because a lot of people will say, I don't like politics, or I don't like to go vote because there's so many things going on. It can get dirty, and it really can. But it's important that people stay abreast and stay knowledgeable of how it impacts our lives, because it can impact even your gas prices, your safety in your community, a lot of things, policies even at the local level, schools, hospitals. So it's important that people take the time, even if you don't want to get involved or go and be politically seen, is that you at least take the time to go and vote. It impacts your life or perhaps of your children or of your family.
Get informed and go vote.
Yes.
Yeah. Right now, you still have your private practice in Starr County?
I do.
What's the name of the
Star Behavioral Health.
Starr Behavioral Health?
Awesome. And what are your future goals? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, in the next 5 years, I hope my children will start their careers, or my son will probably be finishing up school or something. And so of course I want to be involved with that. But as far as me personally, I might be working. I would probably still be working with the school district. And then at some point between 5 to 10 years, I'll retire. But I do have plans. I think that as I move towards retirement, I've already thought about it. I would like to work a little bit more with my private practice because right now I've had to take a step back because I'm so involved with these other things. But maybe get more involved. And I've thought about those things too, is that I might be getting up in age to where I might want to manage the clinic and bring in the younger generation to come in and start their LPC careers and possibly mentor them, because I have so much experience to continue to give, but maybe to someone that's still growing in that field. I'm interested in helping out the youth that's willing to come forward and help our communities. And the other area is, of course, my parents' business, because Vera Enterprises, that my parents are retiring, is that I'll likely start to manage that business as well. So likely I would like to continue with that.
So it seems that even after retirement, you'll still have lots of hats to wear.
Yeah.
A little, yes, but I still.
So you're looking forward to it.
Yes, I am.
That's
Yes,
awesome.
yes, yes.
A closing remark, a closing message for the fans, for the viewers of RGV Stars.
I just think that sometimes, for myself, we often leave our communities to go off to school, or sometimes we live in Hidalgo and I moved to Starr, vice versa. There we have kids that are living in Starr, moving to Hidalgo. Is that the Rio Grande Valley is really a nice place to live. I think that sometimes the media and things get caught up with what's sensationalized and what sells in the news. But if you really come down here and you visit, I was outside yesterday, it's been raining a lot, and I told my husband, it almost feels like we're at the beach because the humidity had that balmy, there's a lot of palm trees. It's just a really nice place to live and have a family. I think that it's a great place to raise a family. So I encourage people to come and visit, even come. We like to come and eat in McAllen, is come and eat in Starr County. Sometimes we go to Zapata or Webb County to go and have dinner. But I think it's really nice to build that community collaboration and meet new people. I've always enjoyed that.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much, Jessica. We wish you the best. More success and more
Nice meeting you.
It's a pleasure to have you.
Nice meeting you.
And thank you for everything you and your whole family have done for the Starr County community.
Thank you.
And this was another edition of Season 28 of RGV Stars, live with Alex Arabia and Isaac Medina. Remember, RGV Stars is
the premier platform for showcasing Rio Grande Valley talent.
and the RGV Celebrity Space to be. Until next time.
See you guys.